Welcome, welcome, welcome. We should be unmuted. Let us know first if you guys can hear us. We have this like new setup.
Yeah, we got a boom mic now,
Yeah,
so we don't have the little collar things anymore.
We have a boom mic, and Jonathan, who you guys will see in just a little bit, almost knocked his head on here. You guys hear us? Okay, good. Well, first of all, happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving to those of you in America.
Yes, happy Thanksgiving. We have a lot to talk about. I know you guys probably love this new loading screen, right? Because it's not like the old one. I know you guys used to rage about that, but so for those who don't know me, my name's Shaun, part of the team for a while now. We have Dan here, who's back again.
How's it going, guys?
Always fun to have Dan. Dan, what's your official title now?
Game director.
Game director. That's fancy. That's
fancy. Very fancy. So we're going to be talking about some of the new stuff we got for you this update.
Exactly. So there's a lot of stuff planned. I want to tell you guys right away. There's so much stuff in this update that we're going to be doing 2 live streams. So there will be a live stream covering a bunch of stuff tomorrow. So you don't want to miss out on that. But just to let you guys know, so today we'll mostly cover the brand new boss.
Yep.
Outer Harbinger, brand new boss, which looks amazing.
Yep.
You guys will be able to see it in the new overlay and stuff. And we
I
will.
think they can see it right now.
Can they?
Yeah, there's a little picture of him there. Yeah.
Oh no, that's maybe.
Oh,
there you go.
There it is.
Okay,
there
switch
we go.
back,
Yes.
switch back. That was just a sneak peek.
Sneak peek.
But yeah, so we'll be covering over outer boss, new boss balancing, new gear sets, changes to ongoing damage with Dan.
Yep.
And then we'll switch over and we will be talking about GuildWars, which are pretty much our 2 biggest features in this update with Jonathan, who will be able to come join us. So you want to get this show on the road?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so don't forget, if you guys are new, if you guys haven't tried out the game yet, I doubt, but I mean, if you haven't tried it out, now's the perfect time to download it. There is so much content in this update. It's amazing. Changes to 5v5, changes to a bunch of stuff that we'll cover tomorrow. But yeah, there's so much in store. Can't wait to get into it. And Dan, you're the first to showcase. I know the expert team got to play this.
Yes.
But you're the first person to showcase Outer Harbinger, who is a brand new boss, and this boss looks freaking amazing.
All right, so let's talk about him a little bit. So this is the third of our main raid bosses here in the progression. So you're already familiar with the Elder Drake and the Steel Widow. Well, this is kind of the next step up. So with the Outer Harbinger, he is a very puzzly boss. Instead of being like a raw stats block that you're just trying to beat with better gear, this is much more about finding the right team composition. He's got a lot of different mechanics going on, and figuring out how to work around his kind of arcane mystic trickery is going to be the core of fighting this boss. So let's talk a little bit first about what you get for fighting the Outer Harbinger. I'm right here on the screen, so you can check out the loot info. So some changes that we're announcing. We're moving the Withering gear set over onto the Outer Harbinger. We want to make this a little bit more accessible, so it's no longer on the Ascended Steel Widow. It's going to be on the Outer Harbinger. And we're adding 4 new gear sets. So take your screenshots now, hype. I can talk a little bit about them. We have the Potent set, 2-piece set that gives a 10% increase to all damage, excluding ongoing damage, but it's going to be great for all those characters that are doing damage scaling with stats other than attack.
Yeah.
We've also had the Martial set that periodically increases the damage from your basic attack. And what's nice about this is there's going to be some champions that favor having very strong skills that benefit from sets like Adept. There's going to be other champions that have a tendency to favor their auto attack. And this is the perfect set for them because they're going to do a periodic burst of big damage every couple seconds. We have the Enduring set, which delays incoming damage taken. So the way that this works is basically 50% of the damage that hits you gets converted into this damage over time. And it's not a debuff, it can't be removed, but it will help keep you alive. So if you're having trouble with certain characters getting one shot, you can put this on there. It's going to give a couple seconds for your healer to heal them back up before they die. We also have the Stalwart set, which is more of a support tank set. And what happens here is periodically, the champion that has this set equipped will give a shield to all of his allies based on their defense. And if you have multiple sets of this, that will make a stronger shield. So we have a couple defensive sets, a couple offensive sets. There's going to be a lot of options here. We can get into this a little bit later when we talk about the global boss rebalancing, how this is going to fit into the meta. But for right now, let's get, without further ado, to the harbinger himself. Let's show it.
I'd like to start off by saying this is not the final build, so we're currently on a dev build, and there might be some graphical issues with with the boss. So keep that in mind, but it's going to look a lot better once you guys get the final version.
So
I'm getting trolled because I said harbinger, by the way.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
No one knows how to pronounce that.
Yeah.
Let's go with what does this guy do exactly? So right now he's got a couple interesting, really interesting mechanics here. So for one thing, I know our expert team was asking us, how does his shield work exactly? He has this mechanic where he periodically shields himself. It's kind of the exact opposite of what the co-op boss Baldragor does. So Baldragor, you want to hit him with a lot of little, small, fast attacks because you want to chew through that shield quickly, and it soaks up a certain number of hits.
That's why fairies were so popular.
That's why fairies are so popular. That's why Blade Master is so popular. That's why the Candy Munchkin's so popular. This is kind of the opposite of that. Instead, this is a shield that has a certain amount of health, and it refreshes if you hit it a certain number of times. So when you hit it 50 times, he gets his shield back, and if the previous shield still has any health left, it blows up and does a bunch of damage. So what you really want to do here is you want to make sure that you're hitting him hard. Every hit needs to count. So characters that have skills that do lots of little ticks of damage, or have super fast attack speed but don't necessarily hit hard, they are not going to be for this guy. You want slow, heavy hitters.
Yeah.
He also has a mechanic that reinforces this concept called Blade Bane. I see some of you asking about it in chat. This is a special boss debuff. You can't get rid of it. You can't avoid it. Whenever you deal damage to him, you get a stack of Blade Bane. Lasts 1.5 seconds. And if you get 10 stacks of it, boom, it blows up, and it's going to do a bunch of damage to your champion, whichever champion got 10 stacks, and it's going to put some nasty debuffs on them. So,
quick question about the shield. Does strip work on the shield?
No, strip does not work on the shield. The way that you get through the shield is you damage it. You just deal big, heavy hits. So basically, you have 50 shots to crack this shield from any source of damage, and you need to make those hits count. So really what you're looking for here is champions that have big, heavy hitting abilities. We're going to see that the Ink Ninja is going to shine here. Other characters like the Bomber, the Dino Kid, that didn't really have much of a role in the meta before, you're going to see that they have a role here because these big, heavy hits are going to crack through that shield. So he has a bunch of other stuff that he does. He has some withering on some of his skills. He also does some max HP damage, and that's interesting because you can actually mitigate a lot of this boss's damage by having high defense rather than high HP. So there's some different builds that are available there. And furthermore, we have what was the last thing? I'm going to get him started here so we can actually see him in action. Yeah. So he's got the Blade Bane, got the shield. He also has regeneration. So if you were wondering about what's the use of mortal wounds, block buff against bosses, this is the guy for that. You're really going to need to have some way of dealing with his regeneration, whether that's removing buffs with champions like Esper here or Greater Demon. You can also try to block the buff. You can try to block his ability to heal by putting mortal wounds. There's a lot of different ways of countering this guy.
I love this part, by the way.
Oh yeah, here he comes.
This is the reveal.
Whoa, there he is.
Oh, he looks so good. He looks so awesome. It's crazy.
So this is the first boss that you can actually tank. You'll see that he has this big laser that comes out of his forehead, and that laser is going to target the champion that you have that has the highest max HP. And that's going to free up your other champions to have more DPS. So essentially here, you're going to have one high health champion that tanks that big laser, and the rest of your guys are only going to be getting hit by sort of light AoE damage that he does constantly. He also has two hands that have their own separate health bars. You'll see he'll regenerate one here for a second. There we go. When you destroy the hands, he can bring them back, but when he does that, it costs him his max HP. And since a lot of his stuff scales on his max HP, like for instance his shield, that destroying his arms is going to be a valid way of making him kind of, he debuffs himself to keep his arms alive. And at some point, he actually can't regenerate them anymore because he's soaked up too much of his max HP. So right now, this team is geared towards taking down those arms. Unfortunately, I failed to remove that regeneration buff fast enough there, so you see he gained his health bar back, and he's been applying some stacks of withering to me. So this is a battle of attrition. He's trying to outlast me by putting this regeneration on and stalling with the shield, and I just need to burn through that. So you're seeing right now that the team is geared for just burning through that shield and dealing a bunch of damage to him. I lost the Ink Ninja there. That's going to be rough. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get him at this point. So this team right now wins some of the time, loses other times. This particular phase right here where he spawns these crystals is pretty challenging. You have to burn them down real fast because that's what applies the stacks of withering to you. So you're going to take damage and withering while those are alive. So that's really going to emphasize you having a lot of DPS in your party. So
does ongoing damage work on him?
So we decided not to make this guy punish ongoing damage. We were considering it. You see, he has ongoing damage on him right now. We had considered making him immune to ongoing damage, like the like Baldragor, but instead we opted for taking a closer look at ongoing damage. We're going to explain the changes about ongoing damage in the future. We were seeing that releasing new content that scaled well with both direct damage and ongoing damage was challenging for us. We decided to rework how ongoing damage works so that it scales more with your gear, so that building these characters, you have a real path to progression to making ongoing damage characters work even into the end game.
Yeah, I see a lot of people saying this is hard. This is hard. This is probably the hardest content we've put out.
Oh yeah, he's the early stages of this guy are on par with the later stages of the Steel Widow, and with the later stages of like the co-op boss Baldragor. This is definitely our most challenging content. I have my live build team that can do Steel Widow 10 right now has difficulty beating this guy on the first stage, so he is super hard. And we really look forward to seeing how you guys tackle him. We know that there's some really interesting synergies out there to take this guy down. I know that some of the people on the expert team were actually able to progress really far, even with the teams that they already have built. So it's going to be interesting to see how the community tackles this guy. We look forward to seeing your strategy guides and how you guys take him down. He's very puzzling, a lot of options to counter his mechanics. And I think my run is about to come to an end here.
Man. If Dan cannot beat this, I will fail horribly.
So there we go. That was the Outer Harbinger.
So you've seen this guy. By the way, I just want to add on, I'd like to thank, and I think Dan just mentioned it, but the expert team for giving us so much input on this update. They've helped us tailor this as much as we can, so we wouldn't be where we are right now without the expert team. We'd like to thank them very much. And just to let you guys know as well, we always have final decisions on what goes on in the game. So if ever something isn't what you guys wanted, it's not the experts teams necessarily their fault.
Don't blame the experts.
Don't blame them. They're just helping.
They give us a lot of advice on what we should do here. They were a big part of the decision to go with changing ongoing damage rather than affecting the characters that have ongoing damage. We don't want to take characters and remove mechanics from them. We want to make those mechanics fit better into the game, and the expert team helped us do that a lot. I saw a comment from Barcode there that I should talk about the way that cooldown reduction in this boss. So this boss does have a counter mechanic for cooldown reducing champions. It's an ability called Time Twisting. If you bring a champion that reduces the skill cooldown of other champions, it negates that effect, and it actually stuns those champions. That does not apply to skills that reduce internal cooldowns on the champion that has the skill. So champions that reset their own skill cooldowns, those are fine. Champions like Timekeeper and
Greater Demon,
Xenia. Greater Demon's fine. Synergy traits are fine. Gear is fine. Adept still works. It's just champions that will specifically reduce the cooldowns of other champions. That's going to be challenging for you. We really wanted to emphasize other healers for this boss. We know that those cooldown reducers are very, very strong for the existing bosses. We wanted to see something different, some different strategies that don't necessarily rely on just constantly reducing all your skills and spamming them. And we wanted to see a boss that challenged people to build different teams. So we're going to actually see characters like Fire Boon Sister is actually pretty strong here because she does have some of the abilities that Xenia has, but instead of the cooldown reduction, she has the attack boost. So that's going to be very strong here.
What about someone like Rhoda?
Rhoda is going to have a tough time. I'm going to tell you right now. I know that you guys, I know Rip Rhoda. Let's face it, guys, Rhoda is good pretty much everywhere in the game. It's okay if there's one place she's not the top tier. So yeah.
Quick question also, I'm not sure if you'll be able to answer this, but will Nature Vamp Legendary Withering debuff work on the new boss to reduce his max health?
I believe so, yes. Reducing the boss's max HP, there's a bunch of different ways you can do it. You can do it with Withering from the gear set or from the Vamp. You can do it with Blighted from the Blighted set from the co-op boss. And of course you can do it by destroying the boss's arms. He's going to reduce his own max HP to do that. That's going to help you crack through his shield better. So I think I can move on to some of the balancing changes.
Yes, we can. Okay, so this is super important, right? So we want to start off by saying that all this new content is helping us do massive changes to overall progression.
Yeah.
Maybe you can start off by what we're adding in terms of rewards for maybe Steel Widow 10 and Elder Drake, and then we can say why we're doing these progression changes. This is something I actually hinted during the podcast. That we did, I think 2 weeks ago. I said that the overall progression was going to make a lot more sense in the game, but that Steel Widow 10 was going to be a lot more difficult.
Yeah, so I'm going to go into a little bit of detail about that. So just right off the bat, I'm going to say we buffed the gear drops on the existing bosses. So right now, for the Elder Drake, we didn't make any changes in difficulty to this boss. All we did was buff the gear drops. So what you're going to see is on stages 8 and up, 8 through 14, better drop rate of better gear. Specifically, Elder Drake 10 no longer drops 4-star gear at all, only 5 and 6 star.
So no difficulty changes to Elder Drake, but gets better gear.
But get better gear.
Yeah.
So the Elder Drake was feeling a little bit lonely. I know a lot of people were advising new players to kind of go around him and just kind of go straight to their Steel Widow 10 farming teams. The poor Elder Drake being left all alone. We buffed his drops. We want this to be an enticing boss. We want you guys to be farming this guy. So now he will drop only 5 and 6-star gear on the highest difficulty. Sorry, on not the highest difficulty.
ED10.
On the highest not ascended difficulty,
yeah.
On ED10. And stages 8 through 14 are going to have higher drop rate of the 6-star gear. So just in general, you're going to see less 4-star, more 6-star.
What about Steel Widow?
Steel Widow, we made the same changes to the gear drops. So also we'll no longer drop 4-star gear on Steel Widow 10. Also will have better drop rate of 6-star gear. However, Steel Widow is getting an overall difficulty increase. So there's some things got buffed, some things got nerfed. I want to get into a little bit of detail about that. We can't spend forever on it, but just we smoothed the difficulty between around stage 5 and stage 10. We know that there's a huge jump in difficulty between the unascended and the ascended version.
Yeah.
And we also noticed that it was really hard for people to crack these ascended bosses because the boss's damage is very chaotic, it was very bursty. And we wanted to kind of fix that. So overall, the boss is getting much more consistent. The laser sweep ability is happening more frequently. But we also toned down the spit. I know you guys know on the higher difficulties that spit ignores defense.
It's kind of random too.
Yeah, we toned down how much it ignores defense. We toned down how bursty it is. We also made it so that the damage of the boss is a little bit higher by base, but it doesn't scale up as much with the stacks of ongoing damage that the boss puts on you. So before it was like if you were immune to the ongoing damage, you were removing a lot of the boss's DPS. Now that immunity, that resistance is still going to be important for mitigating the Steel Widow's damage, but at the same time, the base damage is going to be a little bit more consistent and increased a bit. But we're also giving you some tools to help deal with this stuff. One of the things is we know that there was a bug that was a big problem for a lot of people, where if you had champions that got stuck in the webs, that they would stop using skills. Yeah. This was terrible, so we fixed it. We fixed that bug. That's gone. You're going to find that's going to help prevent some of the RNG. So I know a lot of you guys were like, hey, this is RNG. There was a lot of chaos with the Enrage buff that the boss got because if the boss reached 30%, 50 stacks of enrage, and if the boss happened to do the laser sweep right after that, you'd be killed like almost instantly. And so instead, the enrage stacks are now much more granular. It gets a smaller number of stacks, but more frequently, and the big chunk of enrage stacks happens at 25% instead of 30%. So what's that going to do overall? It's going to make it so that the increase in damage as the boss goes, the longer you fight, it's going to be much smoother. You're not going to get this random boss suddenly jumps in difficulty, blows away your whole team, and if you didn't burst the boss down before then, that you instantly die. No more of that. We really want this to be a fight where you can predict what's going to happen and you can counter it. So the change that we made last update with the Archangel is going to really help you out here. Archangel's shield scales with his max HP, not his target anymore, which is going to mean that there's a craftable 5-star champion that everybody can get that can shield a team of DPS and really protect them from this much more consistent, much more even damage that Steel Widow is dishing out.
I think Saudi's explaining it super well. It's a smoother curve.
Smoother curve, slight increase in difficulty.
Increase,
yeah.
A lot better gear, less RNG. You guys will be able, like Dan said, to predict things a lot better.
We really wanted to emphasize here that this is a mountain to climb. We want this to be progress that you can see your incremental progress. You can eventually reach that goal. We don't want it to be random. We don't want it to be something that feels out of reach. We want you to have the tools that you need to be able to climb that mountain. So in rebalancing all the bosses, in adding the Outer Harbinger, we wanted to make the progression very clear. We want it to be Elder Drake, and then after that, Steel Widow a little bit harder, and then after that, the Outer Harbinger much harder than the other two. We want this to be a clear curve, and we want you guys to see that your gear makes a difference, your champion choices make a difference, that leveling up makes a difference. So I think with that said, the last piece to cover is the ongoing damage.
Ongoing damage. Big changes to ongoing damage. Again, we tailored this a little bit around the expert team. Some were okay with our changes, some maybe not, but I think you explained it super well to them yesterday. I'm pretty confident you'll explain this super well today.
So here's how this goes. Basically, it's very challenging to keep ongoing damage and direct damage dealers balanced against each other. And the reason for that is that direct damage dealers have 4 different stats that affect how much damage they do. They've got attack speed, crit rate, crit damage. They have all these different stats. So to be a super effective direct damage dealer like the Fairy or like Rota or the Blade Master, you basically need to build 4 stats. Whereas with ongoing damage, such as Manas or Snake Lady or Siege Tower, these champions only really need to build accuracy. And they can focus all the rest of their stats on defense. It's kind of not fair to the direct damage dealers. You've got people who want Fairy to be good, who want Blade Master to be good. And so what we saw was if we make a harder boss, a boss that has, say, a little bit more HP, instantly Manas and Snake Lady become stronger than they were before because now that percentage damage is increasing. But the Fairy and the Blade Master have to work really hard to climb that same mountain. And so rather than just making each new boss have some kind of like magical resistance to ongoing damage, or they counter it, or they're immune to it, or something like this, we wanted to make it so that the ongoing damage dealers also had a mountain to climb. It just might be a little bit shorter. They are meant to be good against bosses. So how did we do this? We're making it so that ongoing damage is now capped to 200% of the champion's attack. So basically, you can still reach the same amount of damage, which is a percentage of the boss's health, but you have to have a certain bar for attack. And if you have a boss that has a larger health pool, that bar is a little higher. So what that's going to mean is that for most encounters in the game, most not boss things, so the adventure mode, when you're farming, when you're in arena, for enemies that don't have massive HP pools, it's not going to change a whole lot. Because the amount of attack that you'd need to hit that little percentage of HP is not very much. So you're not going to see a huge change outside of boss fights. But in boss fights, if you want to use Manas or Siege Tower or Snake Lady as like your big damage dealers against a boss, you're going to need to build both accuracy and attack. So a direct damage dealer has 4 stats that make them good, and an ongoing damage dealer is now going to have 2 stats that make them good. So yes, it will still be easier to build a Manas or a Snake Lady to take down a boss. It's just not going to be as easy as it was before. We were seeing like a 5-star Manas who was beating Steel Widow 10, and we felt that really this is a boss that at this point you should be making 6-star champions. You should be putting really good gear on them. You should not just be hitting like a 65 accuracy and calling it a day. You should still have some advantage to adding better and better gear to your champions. There should be some progression there. So we didn't want to cap that overall damage on how good Manus can be. We just made it so that you now need some gear to get there.
Yeah. So it's gonna. I mean, you'll be able to just. I think we'll be seeing teams with a lot different builds. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
we are going to be seeing some different builds. I want to address a comment here right now. Somebody said Siege Tower is useless. So we are aware that there are some champions that don't scale super well on attack. Siege Tower, Scanned Warlord, Sentinel, these are examples of champions that are more tanky. And I know that a lot of you are not going to want to give the trade-off to attack. So in the short term, what we've done is we've just generally buffed the ongoing damage that these champions do, either by increasing the number of stacks that they apply or the duration of those stacks, so that even though they're affected by this cap, they're going to get a little bit more oomph out of that. The attack scaling champions are not going to necessarily get a buff there, but the HP scaling champions, especially the Siege Towers, are getting a small buff now. We're going to look very closely at how people are building these champions for the next update. We are thinking about giving them a rework or further buffs. We have taken no decisions on this right now because we want to see how this affects the meta, especially how people are building these in the late game. If we see that these champions are still ineffective, we're not going to leave, for instance, Siege Tower, we're not going to leave a 5-star champion hanging out to dry. We're not going to leave Scanned Warlord hanging out to dry. So for right now, we've given some small buffs to them. You'll see details about that in the patch notes. And if those buffs are not enough, we are certainly open to criticism here. We know that by making attack scaling, that it's going to be more difficult for the tanky characters with ongoing damage, and we're willing to address that in the future.
I know the expert team really like it, Dan, when you answer some questions. Maybe we can take some questions from chat while you're here.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do some questions.
So if you guys want to send over some questions to Dan regarding all of this, Dan, if you want, maybe can you touch a little bit more about the new gear, see how everything you think is going to be played out, and yeah.
Yeah, well, okay, so while we're waiting for some questions to roll in here, I can just say that the new gear, I really expect Potent Set to be really interesting. Right now, we don't have any 2 sets that directly increase your damage. The crit rate is useful, but at a certain point, it's possible to cap out on crit rate just with secondary stats from gear, and at that point, having a 2 set that gives you crit rate isn't really giving you much. Potent is just going to give you 10% extra damage. So I expect to see this on things like damage dealers that are scaling on stats other than attack. I expect to see it on champions that are maybe looking for that last little bit of damage. I actually think it's going to be interesting for the outer harbinger himself, because he values you hitting hard. If you can farm the lower difficulties, you may be able to get gear to help you with some of the higher difficulties.
There is a question, actually. What's your favorite new gear, and what is it? Potent?
Oh, favorite new gear.
And why?
I think that my favorite new gear set is probably going to be Enduring, honestly. I think that this is a really interesting mechanic. I'm really curious to see how people use it. I think it may have some use in Arena. I think it may have some use in Ascended bosses, places where you might get hit really hard, really suddenly. I think there may be some savior teams where you have champions taking lethal damage and then getting healed before that damage kicks in, which could be really interesting.
Like Dan said, we'll be monitoring all of this like we always do. We read everything. We read a lot more than you guys think. I think we spend a lot of time on rather Discord and Reddit.
Got a question here. How does the shield set work? Is the shield reapplied? The answer is yes. So the way that this works is basically if you're near enemies, for instance, in Arena, like as soon as the enemy AI triggers and the fight starts, like crossing the little river there, as soon as you see like active enemies, you'll get a shield to all of your allies. And that will come back periodically throughout the fight. So if you have a long, drawn-out fight, you're going to get a shield over and over again.
This doesn't have anything to do with what you said, but when are we going to see move speed as a useful stat?
No comments.
So there's still a bunch of champions to release, guys. December is going to be crazy for us. New events, new champions. It's going to be ridiculous. So you guys will see that soon.
Got some more questions here. Can the periodic damage be dispelled from Enduring? No go. Sorry. That's a nice try. We thought about that. It kind of doesn't make sense. The flavor of the set is that you're getting hit hard, but that you're soaking, you're surviving, you're enduring it. It doesn't make sense that you get hit and then somebody just removes that hit from you. So no, you still take the damage. Although you can block the Archangel's invulnerability. Invulnerability effects will block the damage from applying.
Just a heads up, guys, we're not avoiding the 5v5 questions. Like I said earlier in the stream, everything's going to be talked about tomorrow. Gabby's going to be streaming with a couple more devs tomorrow to explain the rest of all the changes. Do you see anything else you'd like to answer right now? These questions are scrolling fast. It hasn't scrolled this fast in a while.
Yeah. Let's see here. We have Nightbots hitting some people here. Let's see here. 4 6-star gear on all levels of Harbinger. So we're still making the last minute adjustments to exactly the loot tables that we want for this. But long story short, yes, there will be better quality gear from the start because we know that compared to the other bosses, this guy is a lot harder from the get-go. So we can expect that when you start off, the gear that you see right away is it's not going to start like 1-star gear.
Yes.
You don't have to worry about that. You're going to be getting better gear right away. So we will be keeping an eye on that. We want it to make sense for the level of difficulty.
So the stream isn't over. For those who are wondering, the stream is not over. We'll do a quick giveaway while we head over to intermission real quick to get Jonathan here. It'll be just a quick intermission, guys. It'll be like 30 seconds or something. It's gonna be super quick. But just to recap, Dan, new boss, new gear sets, a change to progression, change to difficulty, better gear.
Yes.
So that's what you guys need to remember. The progression is a little bit harder, but it's gonna make a lot more sense. Especially for new players. I mean, it's gonna just be
it's gonna smooth the curve, and we really want, like, when the top of the mountain is a little bit higher, but when you get there, the rewards are gonna be so sweet. It's gonna be nice for you to be always getting the 5 and 6-star gear, and even for the gear that you don't want to keep when you sell it. Remember, 5 and 6-star gear sells for more gold. So once you get to Steel Widow 10, you're gonna be raking in the loot.
I see so many comments. I'm not gonna ignore this. What about gear storage with all this new gear? What's happening? Do we have any plans? I haven't seen anything, to be honest, guys. But
no plans for gear storage this update, guys. If that's something that's really important to you guys, keep giving us your comments. Keep giving us your feedback. We do take note of all the suggestions that you give. But right now, nothing on gear storage.
There will most likely. I don't want to give anything away, but there will most likely be 4.5 update. So maybe something in the works. We never know. If not, guys, like Dan said, we read everything, and this is something that we can easily get done. So if this is something you guys want to add, don't forget to suggest it. We read everything everywhere. So quick giveaway. What do we give away? What do we give away? There's a champion that seems to be super good on this new boss, right? There's like the dark Grublin.
What's that? Oh yeah,
maybe we can give a dark Grublin away.
So
he's a 2-star.
Yeah,
that's fine, right?
Dark Grublin Shaman is actually quite good here. You can find him. Sometimes he gets in rotation for the arena awards, I believe.
Yes. Yeah.
Every now and then you'll see him as a reward there. We were pleasantly surprised. The reason for that, by the way, guys, is that big laser that the boss shoots at the tank. If he's blind, that misses.
Yes.
So there's a few champions with blind out there, and Dark Grublin Shaman's one of them. That's a real good mechanic. Let's get the giveaway thing.
Yeah, let's get the giveaway. So we'll give one Dark Grublin away, and we'll give like 1,000 gems maybe. Gabby said yes. Gabby, Menia, this is Gabby's fault. So 1,000 gems to someone, and then we'll give Dark Grublin to someone else. If you guys do win, by the way, what's the exclamation point?
Exclamation update 4.
Exclamation point update 4. You guys can start doing it. It's not Buff Rivet. That's Ginger. Ginger, you know what? Ginger, he's one of our streamers. He's looking to go rank 1 in 5v5, and he said, let's make a deal. I'll unsummon my Rivet if I don't get rank 1, and if I do get rank 1, you guys have to buff him. Buff Rivet.
Buff Rivet.
So update 4, guys. Don't forget, if you do win, so there's going to be 2 winners right here. If you do win, you need to send your player ID that you guys can find in the settings about credits. And so player ID, where you're playing from, your device, so whether you play on iOS, on Android, or on Windows 10, soon to be on Steam. We'll talk about that tomorrow. But yeah, so just send that to when you guys win, whatever. So we'll do the intermission right away. We'll change the screen. I know you guys love loading screens. Want to thank Dan for being here. Always super
Thank you.
insightful. Dan loves to do this also, so this is great to have him here. And we'll be right back to pick out the 2 winners and to introduce Jonathan, who's going to be talking about another big feature, Guild Wars. So let's transition. And we're back.
Say hey.
That wasn't too long. Did you guys see we kind of put back the other loading screen? That was a troll. That was a meme, us memeing. Welcome back, Jonathan.
Hey.
Jonathan, what do you do again? For those, you guys have seen him in the past 2 streams. Of what do you do on the team?
Well, game designer, so I mostly work on champions, but this time I also worked on this big new feature,
Yes.
the Guild Wars.
Yes.
And I think it's very anticipated from our players.
Yeah,
so.
it's gonna be amazing. We'll pick out the first 2 winners. First 2. I mean, there might only be 2, but we'll pick out the 2 winners for the giveaway. First giveaway is for the Dark Grublin. If I want to pick that. Congrats to Subslayer. Subslayer, congrats. Don't forget to send us all the info we need right now. If you want to send that right away. Subslayer, congrats on winning the Dark Grublin, who's going to be super useful for the outer boss.
Right?
Yeah.
As Dan said.
As Dan said. And oh yeah, you guys are seeing the Christmas theme.
That's something new.
Oh, geez. Okay. Yeah.
We haven't showed it.
Are the new portraits there? Gabby's in there.
Oh,
Are they there? Yeah, on the bottom left side. Bottom left.
Bottom left.
Bottom
sorry.
left. Look at Gabby. Gabby's floating. Is she there? Oh, that's me.
Here.
That's
you see?
me. And where's Gabby? She's lower, no? Where are you, Gabby? Gabby's somewhere. Anyways.
So, yeah, DHC is celebrating Christmas.
Yeah, we're celebrating Christmas. Like we said a little bit earlier, there's a bunch coming in December. New champions, all of this, new events. It's going to be really a crazy time. But before we start off, second winner, Subslayer, congrats, by the way. Second rid, Rising. I mean, it's random, right? Congrats, Rising.
Congratulations.
Yeah, congrats, Rising. That seems like it's rigged. I promise you it's not. So congrats to Rising. Yeah, you guys can spam rigged. Go PM him on Discord as well. But congrats. Look at all these rigged. Congrats, Rising. Yeah.
Well, that's it.
That's all. So, Guild Wars. Let's start off by saying we're proud to present Guild Wars. You guys have seen it in the game for a while now because it's been in the menus.
Yep.
So you guys knew it was coming.
Right there.
Congrats for getting this done. This is crazy. Congrats to Rising for winning. I saw him at the same time.
Okay.
So I want to start off by saying Guild Wars is an open beta.
Yeah, because we wanted the player to access this feature as soon as possible. I know that we've been asked for this feature since launch. I
Yes.
think, and so we are now, since it's a very big feature, we are now launching this in beta, open beta,
Yeah.
and we are looking forward for comment and feedback so that we can improve this feature.
Exactly. So open beta. That being said, there might be issues. You guys can enter. We'll be transparent. There might be issues right now.
Yeah, maybe.
There might be issues when you guys start playing, but this is why we want to do it. So we want to really tailor this game feature around the community. We want to make sure everything is right before it being like a full-blown feature. So we're gonna gather all this input. That being said, there's going to be a brand new Trello only for Guild Wars to rack up all the comments. There will be a dedicated tab on Discord, so you guys will be able to leave feedback on there, and also on Reddit. So if you guys want to head over to Reddit, give us your feedback about this. That would be great. So
Even support ticket with the hashtag GuildWars.
true, yes. Okay, so that being said, open beta for Guild Wars. Let's dive into it because I know you have a lot to say about this. I'm excited
Yes.
about this. This is
So
good.
yeah, and be aware that it might be a bit complex at first, but
Yes.
I'll explain it. It should be fine. Okay. So let's go. Let's dive into it. So you can access the Guild Wars as soon as you are part of a guild, of course, in the battlefield menu. So here we go. So the first thing you want to do the concept of Guild Wars is that your guild leader or guild officer will start by registering your guild to the season. So you
Okay.
need to be registered to participate, and the season will last for 1 week.
Okay.
So on Sunday, it is the registration period. All
Sunday is our registration. Keep that in mind, guys.
Okay. At this time, you will select which guild member you want to defend your guild.
How many guild members can you choose?
It's between 10 and 25. So
okay.
it's grand scale wars. in here.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. So that being said, here what you see is that I've already registered because we're not Sunday, so I had to register.
Yeah, this is on a
already.
beta build. Once again, guys, things can bug a little bit. We're telling you right away. We're
Yeah.
just being transparent.
Yeah, and we've set up, since there's no real guild yet, but we have set up some
tests.
test
Yeah.
guild so that we can showcase the new game mode. So-
I'm checking out. Some people are saying, "What if our guild leader is constantly AFK?" You guys got to get some active guilds. That's the main.
switch guild. That's
Yeah, switch guilds, guys. Get those rankings
yeah, or
up.
create your own.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but you need at least 10 member on your guild.
Okay.
So that you have enough defense in there. And so
Once you register on Sunday,
once you register, then on one Monday you can start doing wars. So war will last 12 hours each, and each 12-hour you can do another war. So war is that you declare war against another guild that is close to you in the ranking. And this war, we'll see that in just a minute. You can just declare war here.
declare ward right
So
here.
this is my guild. Those are people that are playing right now in the office.
Upstairs. You can say
Okay.
hi to the dev team. They're playing upstairs.
Okay, so I can select those that I want to bring in this war against the other guild. So it's not necessarily the same people that defend the guild that I bring into the battle
Okay.
to attack a guild. So there's two things. So
Yeah.
we defend or we attack.
Yes.
So just let's go. I select everyone.
I'm not sure. I think you'll talk about this a little bit later, but when you're attacking another guild, that guild's not necessarily attacking you.
No, that's it. So you are attacking the defense of another guild, and that guild in turns can just attack someone else. It's like in arena.
Yeah.
You attack the defense.
So we're
of
going
another player.
we're going head to head against the bad guys right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going. That's a clever name. The bad guys.
Every good story has its bad
Yeah,
guys.
bad guy one, main bad guy. Great names.
So here we go. There's a lot of stuff going on this screen, but this is what we see. All the statues there, they are players from the opponent guild. So we've just been matched against the bad guys.
Yes.
And all we see is their player. We see the BR of their defending team. So if I can tap on one, and I see his team. So I'll have to defeat those player
Okay.
in order to reduce their result. You see the blue bar, that's
Yes.
their kind of HP.
Okay.
And each time you reduce you won a battle against a player, then it will also reduce the HP. So you see the the bar at the top. It's the resolve of the other guild.
Yes.
And to win, you just have to bring that down below the threshold. So there's a threshold that is dynamic depending on how many defenders, how many attackers you bring. So this will change.
Okay.
Okay. And the other thing that is particular here is that all players can attack. So the 10 players in the office that play can attack these at the same time, but every player have 3 attacks maximum during a war. So in that 12-hour wars, can only attack 3 times. So that means that every attack counts, because you need to attack the players that you can defeat, but that also have the most HP, so that it will bring down the resolve of the guild faster. Okay. Because if you do like just if everyone attack the same, that person will lose all its HP, but it will be like what 1/10 of this the resolve of the guild, so it means nothing. So coordination is very important in the guild, so that everyone attacks different opponents.
I already see guild recruitment right now in the chat.
Question on Facebook.
Yes.
Can officers declare war, or is it just the...
Guild leader and officer can declare war and register.
That's a good question. Thank you, Gabby.
Yeah. So let's go. Let's just attack someone right now. Here you see something special also. There's 2.
Do you want me to attack it too? Who do I attack?
Attack...
bad guy too? Who are you attacking?
I will attack, let's say... Yeah, you can attack bad guy too, and I will attack the main bad guy.
Okay, yeah, I don't have what it takes to attack that guy.
Okay, so what you see here is that there's 2 different teams. That means that this battle is fought in 2 rounds. And each round is a different team of 3 champions. Okay. And each round 1 will have effect on the HP of the opponent, and also give rewards. So, and we'll see that after. So here I've selected my team. Maybe I can take nature champion, since there's okay.
I'm definitely gonna be horrible at this, and I'm telling you right away. Okay.
That's fine.
So now we start this.
Yeah, we start. Here there's also some new stuff to explain. Okay.
Go
so
ahead.
It's quite heavy in explanation. So if there's anything, just ask me to.
Yes, for sure.
Okay. So here what we see is that, well, the 2 teams of 3. We also see a brand new feature, is that we see the portrait of the enemy, of the opponent on the right of the screen.
Yes.
That's new.
This was highly requested, and this will also be the case for
the arena.
Yep. Yes, so you guys will be able to target just by simply tapping on the right side.
Yeah, it's a real quality of life that we implemented with this update.
Yes.
So that's the first thing, but that's not specific to GuildWars. In this battle, you see that there's some square at the top of the screen.
Yes.
These are lives.
I can see them. I'm already getting this done. No explanation needed.
Won.
Yeah, that was easy. You guys didn't see that, but for once I actually did good. Yeah. Okay, you can showcase it.
Yeah, so these are lives because your 3 champion will revive as long as you have lives. So you have to kill the enemy champion 9 times in order to win this round.
Okay, yeah, quick. Yes, these portraits will be in arena as well. So
yes, they are.
Yep.
So just let's go. I'll just auto mode this.
Yeah, I'll watch you. I mean, I'm doing this with my eyes closed.
Okay.
So.
Well, it's quite easy in this one. Also, you see on beside the portrait there are a little skull that comes green, red, or yellow. This means that this represent how many times that champion died.
Okay.
And if your champion dies too often, so 3 times or more, then he's wounded.
Okay.
And that means that he cannot be used in this war again until you start a new war. So about 12 hours later.
Okay.
So just see here if how it goes.
I'm watching you. You've got pressure right now. Okay, I see the next screen. You'll be able to showcase that right after. Can you target the squishy over and over, or you must kill each champ 3 times?
You can target the squishy
whatever you
9
want.
times. Doesn't matter. It's a good strategy maybe.
Yeah, probably.
To do that, depending on the composition of the enemy team. So I won, right? Victory.
That was easy.
But you see that 2 of my champion has been wounded because they
Yes.
died more than
More than
three
three
times
Yeah.
each. And the reward that I get for each round one is a war token. This is a new currency
Okay.
that is only available in Guild Wars.
Yes.
So the only way to get them is by winning rounds and winning wars. And the number that you get is based on your rank, the guild of your rank, and your opponent.
Okay.
So in this case, I've got 9. So next, you'll see that the hub where all the statues are.
There's still a lot to explain, guys, by the way. I know you guys have a lot of questions. We'll just wait for Jonathan to cover it all because there's still some stuff. And then we'll be able to answer some of the questions
Yeah,
you guys
sure.
have. Yeah.
Sure.
I know this is all new. This is all new stuff. So sometimes it's hard to get the gist of it. But you guys will be able to see to get your answers answered in just a second.
Yeah. So here we see that the main bad guy that I just attacked has lost some of his resolve. It's the resolve lost is 30% of his current resolve.
Okay.
So that means that when he lose, well, if I attack someone that has low resolve, well, I'll get less effect. That explains what I said earlier. And you see +3 or +2, +1 at the bottom of their little frame beside each statue. This is how many bonus war token that you can get by attacking
that person.
and this is based on his personal rank.
Okay.
Okay, we see that many people upstairs have battled. I can see that in the menu. I see each of my players,
Who won
of
what?
my teammates. So in my guild,
The amount of rounds they played.
yeah, the green diamond means that they have won a round. Red diamond is that they lost. Well, not a round, but the battle itself. And the gray ones that it's a draw. So they won one round in this battle and lost the other.
Okay.
So we can review how many battle has been made by each of the guild members. We can also see each battle, how they went, win-loss for each. You can see details about what team composition was.
I think
So
they
that's
saw
a
a
lo-
new champion. I think they saw a new champion.
Oh,
Did
maybe,
they?
maybe. That's
You-
a secret.
You guys will know tomorrow. You guys will know tomorrow.
Yeah, well, let's not scroll too.
Yeah, we're not gonna scroll through too much stuff. You guys will see it tomorrow.
Okay, so but the point here is that there's a lot of details about what happened, and so that you can more easily coordinate your team.
Yeah.
So in your guild, there's also information about here is the season itself.
Yes.
So you see your contribution, because at the end of the season, depending on the damage you made, how many win that you get, you will have a percentage contribution, and the reward of the season will be distributed according to that. Wait, are you seeing
Oh,
something?
you see him, yeah.
Ah,
The
yeah.
blue guy. Oh, you guys didn't see anything. Okay.
No, but we'll talk about it later.
I'm
today.
getting a lot of questions in the chat right now
Okay, right.
about the deluxe shards. Do you want to tap on them real quick just to show them what the reward is? The
Rewards. So this, so depending on the rank that you get at the end of the season, you will get a certain amount of deluxe shard. This is a special disc shard that you can use to summon champion, but in a exclusive special gacha. I'll show it later.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just keep mystery for now
Yeah.
about what it does, but
Perfect.
it's something that's
Let me
very appealing.
I have to intervene again, guys. You will find out everything about Gun Mage tomorrow. So I know
We
you guys
won't
are
tell
anxious to see that. There's too much to be said. We can't stream for 3 hours. So Gun Mage will be shown tomorrow by Gabby.
I'm really excited about about this champion too, but I have to refrain talking
Yes,
about it.
yes, we're
I
not
have to.
talking about Gun Mage.
But we'll say something later. Okay, just a
Yeah.
quick thing.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh yes. Okay. I just remembered. Perfect.
Okay. So yeah, that's about it for contribution.
Rewards.
We see also the history. My guild has been attacked. You see the by LGW21 guild place. Well, it's a test guild.
Mm-hmm.
But then we see here that all the guild that I attacked, if I won or lost in attack or defense. And also, I see the ranking and my rewards
Yeah.
for my ranking.
I got a question about rewards. Actually, is everyone from the guild going to be getting the rewards, or only the people who participate in the guild wars?
Okay, so it depends on which reward, on what exactly. So you get war token for each battle that you fight. So you need to be bringing as an attacker to have the war token from battles.
Okay.
But when your guild win a war, then everyone get 10 war token and 10,000 gold.
Okay.
But those that participate and won some war tokens in battle, they get this amount doubled.
Okay.
So the more you have you have fought against strong foes, and the more you get war tokens
good. Okay. Cool.
from it.
Spirit Garden, yeah, we can showcase the
Yep,
Spirit Garden as well.
that's-
Maybe you can talk a little bit about that. What about the cap? The cap, thank you to Captain Bear Glove. Thank you to everyone who's part of Team Basic. Seen a star that I met over in at TwitchCon. So that's the hat, guys. You guys can't get this. Exclusive. It's exclusive. So Spirit Garden,
I'll do another battle.
yes.
Okay, just to showcase something that I haven't talked about in the first one. So let's just take some champion here. Okay, so you'll notice beside the arena that are 2 Spirit Guardian, and this is mine. So the blue one is my
Yes.
Spirit Guardian,
Yep.
and he has his own ability and passive that affect my team. And this is the same for the other. So the red one is the opponent's Spirit Guardian, and he does have effect. So this one, and I see there's a little button there. If I click on it, you see that
You
he
guys
has
can
an
see it,
active
right?
skill. So it's not only passive, but it's active skill. So this one is a cleanse. So it will remove all the debuff on my team
Nice.
when I decide to tap on it. So let's just start a battle, and you'll see. I
Where
don't know
you
if-
get a debuff.
yeah, I don't know if these champion can debuff me. Or maybe I have too much resistance.
Oh, still died, huh?
Let's see. Maybe in second round.
Just checking the chat while you do this.
Yeah. All right.
Question on Facebook.
Yes.
Actually, when our champions revive back, will the skill cooldowns be reset as well?
When they respawn.
Will they respawn?
Yes, they are.
Have
Yeah.
your
Oh,
answer.
there I have many debuffs, and the Spirit Guardian just did it by itself. The cleanse.
Just
It can be activated manually or by auto mode. It
Okay.
will do the thing. Yeah, but this is not. It's not only that. So you can do a cleanse. That's fine. But we can also upgrade and customize that
Yes.
Spirit Guardian, and that's the most that you can get out of this, and it will really affect the battle and your performance.
okay.
Okay, so I'll just show that in an instant. Just
We'll
waiting
showcase
for
the Spirit Guardian. Shouldn't be too long. We'll
well,
go
we
over
see it there, and they are fighting each other outside the
sending each
model.
other. Yeah, that's crazy.
Okay, so soon, I guess, or maybe I'll die. It's a tough one. This one.
Well, did you go over the Guild War shop? You're gonna show it after.
Yeah, this
Okay.
is the reward part,
Yeah.
which comes at
Yeah,
which
everything.
come last.
Yeah, reward should always come. It's like dessert, guys. It comes at the end.
Okay. Is there a question in there?
Is there a time limit on each guild fight? Like in
No,
arena, we have
there's-
1 minute.
There's no time limit.
No time limit. You got the answer right here. That was a quick and easy one. No.
No. Denied.
So you want to go over what else you can do with Spirit Guardian?
Yeah.
Patch. Okay, I'll talk about the patch at the end as well, guys. When it's gonna release, when you guys are gonna get the patch notes and stuff. You'll get everything at the end. Stay here. We want you guys to stay and watch.
So here we see our Spirit Guardian. So here for each tier, see all his skills. I can select up to 5 talents or like ability for this Spirit Guardian. I can unlock them first, so by using war token that I've won during battles. So here we'll just quickly upgrade the Spirit Guardian to unlock everything. And then I can choose for each line that you see, I can choose one
Yes.
between 3. So here the ability that we have, so it's either cleanse that I showcase, a purge that will remove the buff on the opponent team, and a stun that will stun everyone. So
Okay.
once every few seconds, the Spirit Guardian is able to do that. So the first line is active skill, so you do that at a certain at the moment you want. But the three others, the three lines in the middle are passive. So you can see here the description rapidly. But each time an ally die, well, the guardian grants the whole team some attack, defense, and even HP. So you see that there's skill bonuses also.
Yep.
So you can upgrade that up to 10 times
Okay, that's
per
crazy.
row.
And something about that is who can upgrade this? Only the leader?
No, the Spirit Guardian is yours. So each player have its own Spirit Guardian. So each time you go attack, you attack yourself, and you bring your Spirit Guardian this attack.
So you guys will have control over the Guild Wars.
Yeah, for each battle. And also, there's 2 tabs. So I also get a red Spirit Guardian because I may get attacked.
Yes.
So when I set my defense team, I also may choose a different set of ability for my Spirit Guardian that are more aligned with my defense team. Either yeah. So here let's just choose other. I'll let you guys discover what everything does.
Yeah,
I won't go in details.
I mean,
on this.
there's a lot to cover. Like this is you guys will learn about it, and like we said, this is beta. This is an open beta, so this is all subject to change. We're gathering all your feedback everywhere, so whether it be on Reddit, on Discord, or on Trello, or from the support tickets as well. So send us all the info you guys will want right after this is released. We'll tell you when this is released soon.
Yeah, just do a quick. Oh, I have no energy left.
No energy. You have gems though. You can do a refill.
Let's do that.
Jonathan's
let's-
cheap.
let's be
Jonathan's
crazy.
cheap. He does not like to refresh with those gems.
That's not true.
Okay, so let's do another battle. We'll talk about I know we talked a little bit. Can we talk about Gun Mage a little bit just for this, or you want to?
Yeah, well, the Gun Mage is part of the rewards of Guild Wars.
So Gun Mage, which is a brand new Nat 5, is part of the Guild Wars rewards. So you guys will be able to get him in 3 elements:
yeah,
water, fire, and nature.
These are the only elements that are released.
Yes, so only those 3 elements. Gabby's going to cover everything tomorrow. I don't want to get into the skills and stuff. But nature, water, fire will be available. Light and dark are not releasing now.
They're not.
We have no plans on when we want to release them. So yeah, I want to invite everyone also to go check out our streamers after this stream, because they will be streaming the beta. So if you guys want to get more opinions, everyone who's part of the beta team has the ability to stream this as soon as this stream is over. So I know Dank Knight is going to be covering a lot of stuff. You guys will be able to ask him some questions there. There's some stuff he can't say, some stuff he can say, but beta will be streamed right after this stream. So you guys will be able to check that out.
All right. So now let's take a look at the rewards.
Rewards. Okay. That's the juicy part. I see all these comments in chat and try to avoid everything. So,
so when you do battles, you gain war token and deluxe shards.
Yes.
And there's a shop in the. So there's a new Guild Wars shop here that you can spend your war token. So your war token can be spent to upgrade your Spirit Guardian, and it can also be spent to buy just what you want from that shop. So you can buy here discs from like a color specific disc, legendary shard.
Ooh, that's Star Fuzzle Puff. Ooh.
Yeah, 4-star Fuzzle Puff.
Super Fuzzle Puff too.
These are very rare, and this is I think one of the only places that you can buy them exactly. So just be sure. So there's a limit of 1 per week for the Fuzzle Puff star, and 2 per month for the Super Fuzzle Puff trainer. We see also wild shards. This is something new.
Yes.
There's you can just farm shards of
champion
Vinia
shards.
or elite champions. So this is just a wild card. You can use that for any champion that you already have 1 shard. I'll explain this in the.
So basically, if you have 1 shard of any single champion, this can be used for that specific champion.
Yeah, to just complement what you're lacking.
Not sure if a lot of people are still struggling to get Violet or Xenia or maybe even Mai and Kyo.
Yeah, that works for all champions.
You guys can
even
head over and do that.
Yeah, the technician also. So that's one thing that is brand new from this update. The other is Deluxe Shard. We already talked about it, but you can buy some more here. And see, Gun Mage token, Fox Assassin token. This will allow you to buy what is next.
Gun Mage.
the gun mage.
Without
So-
showing too much.
Okay, so this champion can only be gained by playing Guild Wars. So you need war tokens, so 100 gun mage token in order to pull one of these three.
Yeah.
So it's the only way you can get it. He won't be in the summoning pool. He's there.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's good. Good rewards. You guys will want to be playing this for sure. Like we said, open beta again. Rewards could change. We'll be super transparent with all the changes we're going to be making, but we're going to
Sure.
take all your feedback into consideration as well. I've mentioned this earlier. Gabby's going to mention it tomorrow during the stream about Gun Mage and about the 5v5 changes, but there's no LD Gun Mage that's going to be releasing right now.
No,
We'll probably
later.
be releasing later. No date to be announced.
And the last thing that you can get here, aside from those two champions, is legendary gear. So you get, if you're struggling for 5 or 6 star legendary gear, well, you get one here. So once per week, you can spend your war token to get one.
Can you look over deluxe shards once again,
Oh yeah, sure.
just so people can see what they do? Maybe
So-
print screen or something. If you guys want to print screen that right now, screenshot that.
Okay.
Those are deluxe shards.
Well, we'll go in the summon menu just to look at them. So that's the deluxe, where the deluxe shard can be used, and you'll get them. So here, the only thing that you can get in this gacha are the champion that are there on the
That are
on the
announced
left.
there.
Yeah, so you get 16 champions, specific champion that will be weekly rotated. So there's also a menu here that'll pop up that will explain in what will be the champion in the upcoming weeks.
So you guys will be able to stack those up and get those summons ready
Yeah.
for those.
For example, you're waiting for that specific champion. You want like the nature, for example, the nature naga, and yeah, just stack up your shards, and then you might get it as well.
Perfect.
So that's one thing new. That's very very interesting. And the other is well, for the champion shard. But I think I don't have.
Yeah, you don't have
shard.
champion shards right now, so we
on
can't show
this-
them.
on
But
this
you
build.
guys get the. I think you guys can understand.
Yeah,
what
but
the-
there's 3 rules about this. The champion shard is that you need one, as we said.
Yeah.
You cannot use these wild shards if you already have a complete. If you already have all the champion shard that you need.
Yeah.
And you can use at most 25 shards. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll just continue.
Maybe you can showcase the boss again.
The outer boss.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do that. I'll show you guys the outer boss. So that covers pretty much Guild Wars, I guess.
Yeah, and well, I think we made all the.
I think we covered everything
Covered
about
everything.
it. Like we said, I'll repeat it once again, but this is an open beta.
It is.
So we'll be actively looking at all the feedback for everything, whether it be rewards, whether it be anything about deluxe shards or deluxe summons, whether it be anything about spirit guardians. You guys need to give us as much feedback, and we'll be expecting that like we always have. We're looking forward to seeing all of your feedback about this.
And you can follow this up on Trello.
Let me get into this boss and auto real quick, because I'm definitely not going to be able to do anything. Okay, get me out of Baldragar. I do not want to go against you. We saw.
Why not?
We saw what happened last time. Yeah, this is not happening again.
Well, it's your time to shine.
Nope, it's not happening. You guys have seen me lose once too many. Okay, so this is good. Let me just auto this. Okay, so speaking of stuff interesting, you guys will know everything about 5v5 tomorrow. So 5v5 changes will be announced tomorrow. There will also be news about Steam. There will also be news about our Chinese release, because yes, we are releasing the game in China. And also talking about when the patch notes are going to be live. So the patch notes will be live early next week, because we have a stream tomorrow to talk about everything else.
Don't forget the gun mage.
The gun mage as well. Yeah, we'll talk about the gun mage tomorrow. And also, I can tell you right away, the update will be live.
Can we?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. The update's going to be live next week.
Yeah. Well, soon.
Yeah, next week. It's going to be live next week. So you guys will be able to get the update super soon, be able to play all this super soon as well. We're excited to get everyone's feedback. Give us your feedback right away about everything that we have just shown. How do you like this outer boss? How do you like the mechanics? How do you like the new gear? Dan talked a little bit about balancing changes as well, and progressive progression changes.
Yeah, smoothing progression.
Yeah, so
Difficulty.
whoever's talking about beta progress, no, they do not keep the progress. That's super important. Everything that's done on beta stays on beta, so you guys will be able to showcase, and that's why we actually decided to show everything up. To show everything from the beta is that they don't keep anything. So, yeah, you guys will be able to. Did I get him? Oh, it was the first guy, right? Withering. Okay, let's do that again.
You won and you even didn't even notice.
If you guys have, no, I didn't even notice. I was just rambling, doing my usual stuff. But if you guys have any questions for Jonathan, right now is the time to give us questions. We'll wait a little, like 30 seconds. Let's see if this can connect real quick. We'll wait 30 seconds. I won floor 1. So we might be having issues right now with the servers and with the Wi-Fi, everything here. See, connection failed. Might just be the Wi-Fi. Are there any questions before we get off?
Because you're not supposed to have one.
Oh, there you go. I think so, yeah. Show the master pack. We're not going to talk about master pack right away, guys. I talked a little bit about this on the podcast. You guys need to tune into those podcasts because there's some crunchy stuff that gets said on those. But there are plans for us to bring back the master pack and to bring another another variant of the master pack as well. So you guys can bother Anima about that. Don't bother any of the other devs. So yeah. Dark B, no Dark B. Dark B is still a full-on meme. When's the next podcast? I believe the next podcast is on Saturday morning, but I'm not 100% sure. You guys will need to check up on that. What are there any questions about Guild Wars, guys? The Guild Wars Guardian, does it refresh every round?
Yes, it does. So for the cooldowns, yes, it refresh. It also cannot be attacked. He's outside of the arena. They just fight each other, but they can interact with your team or the opponent team.
Perfect.
And they will give a passive bonus to.
Other question: can we get the new deluxe tokens from bosses too, or is it only in Guild Wars?
The deluxe shard can be obtained in the Guild Wars and also Ultimate Blitz now.
Ultimate Blitz.
It's a new rewards in Ultimate Blitz.
You guys have seen that. What else? Yes, we're going to cover everything about Steam, but I can tell you right away, Steam is going to be awesome for content creators. It's going to be awesome for anyone who enjoys the game on PC because there's... I can't say. Gabby's going to be mad if I tell you guys too much, but tune in tomorrow, guys, about this.
Yeah. Oh, I'm very excited to talk about this.
If there's no more questions, I mean, there's always going to be more questions, guys. But
yeah, but we can answer on Discord and all the channel, usual channel.
Exactly. So just join us tomorrow as well, as we'll be streaming. Thank you, Jonathan.
Well, thanks to you.
I'd like to thank Dan as well. Dan, who was not in the room, he went back and did his usual stuff because we still have work to do. But
we need to ship that update.
Yes, we need everything to be live. So I just want to thank everyone for joining us once again. This is always a pleasure. I want to invite everyone also to come join Gabby tomorrow because Gabby will be streaming same time, same nonsense. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be fun. So much to cover. Gabby, you want to confirm what we're talking about tomorrow? Gabby, come here. Come here, Gabby. Gabby's here, guys.
Okay.
Gabby, come here.
No.
Okay, you guys will see Gabby tomorrow. But 5v5 changes, whether it be talent balancing, a bunch of stuff. Gun Mage.
Steam. Some new features also that.
New features. A bunch of other stuff.
We'll keep surprises.
Yeah, like we said, there's too much to be said. It's already been an hour and 15 minutes, which is over our time usually. But I'd like to thank Jonathan again, Dan again, everyone who's in the back right now taking care of the stream. Also, follow us everywhere. Don't forget. And next week update, you guys will be able to give us all the info. You guys have constructive criticism like you always do about everything that's here. So. From the Montreal studio, just want to say bye and thanks everyone for joining. We'll see you guys on Discord very soon.
Goodbye.
See you guys. Bye. Are we still live? Bye. Yeah. Are we live? Are we live? Are we live?
You're not live anymore.
We're not live.